Welcome to our channel. In the comments, someone asked whether people with type 2 diabetes can eat canned fish. Today we'll discuss which ones are allowed, which ones aren't, and what the benefits are. We'll talk about the risks, common misconceptions, and back everything up scientifically, referencing authoritative sources. Canned fish significantly reduces the overall risk of diabetes, additionally increases insulin sensitivity, and crucially protects your heart and its well-being, said. Because here's what's in them. The composition of sardine canned fish. Mackerel, salmon, tuna. Let's break down the nutritional content per 100 grams of product. For example, tuna. 1 single gram of fat per 100 grams and almost exactly 20 grams of protein. Or if we consider salmon per 100 grams, we then get. This particular item contains 4 grams of fat and approximately 25 grams of protein. As you can clearly see, there is absolutely no sugar here. Or perhaps mackerel, right? Six grams of fat and 23 grams of protein. And finally, sardines. 11 grams of fat and 25 grams of protein. As you can see here, there is no sugar if it's fish in its own juice or canned and preserved with water. There are fish that should not be eaten with diabetes, and I will talk about them as well. So why are canned fish beneficial for diabetes? Because they contain high quality protein that helps lower blood sugar. They are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and are recommended by many organizations, including the American Diabetes Association and the Canadian Diabetes Association. As an endocrinologist and dietitian, I will be referencing articles from reputable sources. Our first article was published in 2019. There were 26,000 participants. They were observed over a period of 8 years. They observed people who regularly consumed fish products, including canned fish. Regular consumption of canned fish and fish reduced the risk of diabetes by 22%. Omega-3 fatty acids reduced insulin resistance and decreased inflammation in the body. Our second comprehensive study was officially published in the year 2024. More than 45,000 people were observed over 12 years. Consumption of fatty fish reduced the risk of diabetes by 38%. The third study had 152 participants. It was published in 2021 in the journal Clinical Nutrition. They were observed for 6 months. They included 100 grams of sardines per day in their diet. As a result, glycated hemoglobin decreased by 0.5%, insulin resistance dropped by 17%, and the omega-3 index in the blood increased. Regular consumption of fatty fish helps with glycemic control. That was the conclusion. Now, which canned foods are allowed and which are not? Always choose canned foods in their own juice, where the fish is preserved in its own juice. You should generally not choose canned foods that contain added sugar and artificial spices. Always choose The second article was published in 2024. There were more than 45,000 participants. They were observed for 12 years. Consumption of fatty fish reduced the risk of diabetes by 38%. The third study was published in the journal Clinical Nutrition in 2021. There were 152 patients. They were observed for 6 months. 100 grams of sardines per day added to the diet reduced glycated hemoglobin by 0.5%, decreased insulin resistance by 17%, and increased the omega-3 index in the blood. Regular consumption of fatty fish helps with glycemic control. Dangerous types of canned fish. These particular varieties include large types of tuna, primarily due to the significant risk of mercury accumulation, or very salty versions, or indeed canned fish that contains a substantial amount of added fat, or alternatively, a rich tomato sauce. Practical recommendations for consuming canned fish. So you can eat them at least 1 to 2 times a week, 100 to 120 grams per serving, with fresh vegetables, without any bread, and without any rice. Always choose low salt varieties that are labeled as well as zero sugar. Today was such an easy day. Please, I would be very happy to answer your question. You can write comments. I know you have a lot of questions. Please feel free to ask me. I will gladly answer.